Hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel, and this is my weekly update for my $1 million story. So, a quick recap before I jump into what has been happening. My $1 million story is my personal experience building my first $1 million net worth. So, I'm at the very beginning of this project. So, I don't have $1 million in the bank already. I don't have anything but a lot of debt at this point. And, that's okay, right? So I've got just under 5 years that I'm giving myself to go through this project and to make my first $1 million net worth, right? So I'm gonna have to build more than that in income over the 5 years. And I'm doing that through a few different things. One is my primary source of income right now, which is my full-time job. The second one is probably our secondary biggest source of income, which is my wife's full-time job. She is a real estate agent and just starting out this year, and so she's starting to build that up and doing a really great job with her business as well. And then the third thing are my side hustles. So I have a number of YouTube channels that I post to infrequently, but I'm trying to rebuild those brands and start figuring out a way to monetize them. I have this project. I have an eBay store, which I am kind of managing, not doing it well, but it will. It brings in maybe $1,000 or so, $500 a month in income, which is really helpful for us, especially considering what we have is a bunch of debt. And so that kind of helps balance out the month-to-month flow between when my paychecks fall and when our bills fall. And we're basically just running as fast as we can towards building early income and then longer term wealth as well. Now, it has been 3 weeks, I believe, since my last update. I skipped 2 weeks worth of updates, and prior to that I was doing daily updates, just kind of checking in with a miracle morning check-in. So a bright and early check-in, what was going on, how I was feeling, what I was planning on working that day. And I haven't done that for a few weeks, and I know that I committed to doing weekly updates, for which I apologize that I have not been doing them. You know how life gets ahead of you, and so the first week I meant to do it, but I forgot, and so then it was Monday, and then it was Tuesday, and then it was Wednesday, and then I thought, well, I'll just do it next week. And then the next week kind of something similar happened, and honestly, if not for, I suppose, the commitment that I've made to keep going with this project, I might have dropped it, which is, I suppose, embarrassing to say and frustrating. Like, it's frustrating for me that my commitment kind of is so low on things. So I'm working on that. I do plan to post more regularly now, and to start with these weekly updates for sure, again as well. Now, what have I been working on the last few weeks? You know that I was starting up the Forge, which is a 100-day challenge that I'm doing with two other people who are working on very independent businesses. Both of them are technology web applications, and they're building those out. What I'm focused on is building out, or kind of transitioning, what my $1 million story is. It's going to stay a project, but it's more of a personal thing. But I'm also building out something that I'm calling Original Hippo, which is a much broader set of tools and content to help people like me that are trying to reach some goals that might be what I'm calling sick, but where I was when I started my $1 million story, which is basically not committing or not following through on any commitments, not feeling confident, really frustrated, maybe physically actually sick because they're not eating well or doing exercise. People that maybe have bad relationships with the people around them, their spouse or their children or their parents, and so they're not able to the people around them aren't building their energy. It's kind of sucking energy out of them, having to deal or maintain those relationships. So I'm building this tool, Original Hippo, to help those people. Now, my first set of goals are to build content and then to kind of go through a pilot project, a pilot effort with a few people that I'm going to choose to test those tools, right? See if that content is inspirational, see if my ideas and my theories about how to help people break out of these cycles is actually a helpful experience. The second thing, so the thing that I've done over the last 3 weeks with Original Hippo is I have built out a website. It is actually live at originalhippo.com. There's a lot, obviously, if you go there, you'll see that there's basically almost no content. It's basically a landing page. It's just holding a little bit of structure to the website and things like that. This next week, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on putting in more heavy bones and structure to what that page is going to be. The thing that I focused on during the last week is on implementing danielsimmons.com. So I used to own danielsimmons.com. I let the domain expire because I was never doing anything with it. I repurchased it this week and I built out a website. You'll notice there's a lot of similarities between Original Hippo and Daniel Simmons. And the reason for that is they're both content-driven sites for the time being. And danielsimmons.com is where I am publishing links out to information about the projects that I'm working on. So there's a page for Original Hippo, which I'm building out. There's a page for Huertolandia, which is a Spanish language YouTube and Facebook content kind of thing about gardening, right? So I do gardening in my own time. And it's something that I really wanted to share with people. I used to do a channel a long time ago where I would share that in English. And that channel kind of got bloated and filled with a bunch of things, different types of things. But I started doing it a couple years ago in Spanish and dropped it for a while because we were moving and life got complicated. But I'm repicking it up. And so I've published that there. I've also got some information about My $1 Million Story, and that's the big one to look at. So the URL for that is danielsimmons.com/My $1 Million Story, and that one's hyphenated. My $1 Million Story is hyphenated. And if you go there, you'll see there's a timeline for what I plan to do over the next 5 years. Again, I want to build my $1 million net worth by the end of 2023. And so it shows where I'm at today and where I'm going in income. That's my family's income. In what our kind of average family expenses are for the year, what our debt expense is currently for the year, which is ridiculous and really embarrassing. And then what our net worth is right now, which as of right now, we're at like negative $115,000, right? So that does not include our house, okay? So what we're talking about there is just credit card debt and car debt and a personal debt to my parents that I've got to pay back. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's going to help a lot. And I'm going to start driving content both here on Facebook and YouTube as well as on that site. So hopefully it'll be more detailed content. It'll be more directly beneficial to all of you. And then I'll be able to tie it back to what I'm doing on Original Hippo. So that's where I've been spending the last few weeks. As I mentioned, the next week, until next Sunday evening, I'm going to be focusing on Original Hippo content and building out that site a little more so that it's ready with things like with email subscription form, maybe with, I'll probably also be doing I should have prepared for this, right? Know exactly what I was doing. So I'll be doing email subscription. I'll be doing content. I want to build out some kind of an outline for what the pilot project that I'm going to be doing to test out Original Hippo is going to be. And I think that's the three things that I'm going to be focusing on this week. Now, I hope this content is helpful for you. I'm super excited about it. Doing this project, My $1 Million Story, has been incredibly helpful for me. I've got so much more energy, so much more excitement about the projects that I'm working on. I do have lazy days. This weekend has been basically that. I've not been wanting to jump in and write content or build the websites this weekend. But Overall, I'm maintaining a more consistently elevated attitude and and mood. I'm feeling much better about myself and about the world around me, which is exciting to me, and exactly the direction that I wanted to be heading with this project and with my life in general. Thanks for watching. I again hope this content is helpful. I hope that if you're struggling with anything, reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you, and otherwise, get some help in whatever way you need to. If there's someone that you can reach out to that's not me, or if you can find some content that is very inspirational for you, do so, and try and just get yourself to that next step wherever you are right now. All right, take care and have a great week.